Hello, Mr. Nardia. Nice to see you. I know that you are practicing also and you have your own system, right?
It's not a system, it's a concept. Blend of different systems that come together, and then it's a concept, and then now, because it's very popular, it became a system. But it didn't was a system.
Your opinion, is one person capable to stay against the knife empty-handed or not?
That's a very difficult question, because a lot of people will say yes, and I will say that you need, other than skill, you need to be a very, very lucky guy to stand against a knife. It's not an easy fight, and many times I explain to people that even if I take somebody, half of my power, half of my speed, but I give him a knife, the knife extreme your power. I always say that Avi with a knife is 10 times stronger with Avi without a knife, because you have my speed, my power, my stamina, my skills. So of course he's much effective than a guy without a knife. To fight with a knife, it's very, very difficult. I would not say that it's impossible, because everything is possible. Human can do tremendous things. But the first concept starts that you don't fight with a knife. And many times I show to my students, I say, I will fight 10 knives. And I put 10 knives on the floor, and the knife is not attacking you. It's the person that's holding the knife. And here your solution to start to win that fight. Many times I see knife people from different systems that they depend on the knife, and I depend on myself. I don't depend on the knife. I depend on my body. The knife is just extend for my body. So if you cannot punch me, you cannot stab me, because all you have is a punch and you hold the knife, reverse grip or front grip, but it's a punch. So if you can avoid your punch, you already have a problem. So the guy that can punch me scares me more, because if you hold a knife, it means he could stab me. And that's why, for example, for my concept, boxing is the first skill if you want to fight knife. Another concept is the damage control. If you cut my neck or you cut my shoulder, and that's where the next concept comes, the damage control. When you fight with a knife, if assuming that I'm going to be cut, I don't want my hands down and you cut my neck, I prefer to protect my damage areas that can vital killing me than to protect my shoulder. Many times in a knife concept, if you cut me like this, what most of knife people call angle number 1, and you cut to my neck, they turn into the knife. But you bring your neck into the knife, you bring your stomach. In our concept, even turn and start to run away, because only you can slash my back. So that's why the damage control is a concept, and all of those nice drills, nice technique that we see in a lot of knife, they're good for create rhythm, repetitions, but when it comes to a knife fight, you need to be a nutcase. And if you have that kind of a spirit, maybe the ability to survive a knife fight. A lot of people want to survive knife fight, but when it comes, and they want to be reality. And this week I sent the video from Brazil prison to my students, and all of them puke and say, please don't send me that video style. And in the video, the guy stabbed the guy like 5 times inside his eye, and then he chopped his head, and then he go and he slash the head off all the time. And that's how ancient blade were look like, very brutal, no mercy sometimes. And for me, it's a big problem. I don't say that I'm into that, and that's why many times I don't like knife systems, because knife start is touching here and touching here, and this means compassion. And I come from Japanese swordsmanship. I'm a swordman, as I'm also Olympic fencing coach. So I explored the sword and the art of blade from different ideas, not only from the knife. Knife is only one extension of a blade. It's different. It could be machete, bow. When I teach blade, I teach compassion. And for example, many knife systems, they forget about the compassion, and the guy look like Bob the Builder. He have 20 knives on him, and his object don't have even one knife, and then he show what he can do. You don't need 5 knives. Give a person a broken bottle and you see how tough is the fight going to be, how nasty it's going to be. So 20 years ago, when I approached the market with reality-based and I start to explain to people, you know what is a good knife man? Is a guy that can take a pencil and stick it inside your eye. A guy like this, I was scared. All of this ballet move, I'm not afraid of it. I come from full contact. It's like a guy asked me what you will do against a knife if I do this, if I do that. And in the argument, you know, it starts from philosophy, and I say, you know what, you attack the way that you want. And I just look at him so bad, and I fly him in the air, and he fall. And he was like, or you know, we had a tournament, and the black people, we had the warrior camp, and a guy comes from Arnis and Eskrima and Kali. And then we had a guy, Kushin Karate. And he's very fast. He don't know nothing about knives, so you have the knife like an ice cream, you know, like this. You don't do all the moves. And the other guy do all the dance, all the moves. But then in a one moment, the guy turned, give him a shirogiri, a kick to the face, and knock him down. So I trust whatever you know. If you know jiu-jitsu, it's the best system. If you know karate, it's the best system. But if you don't know nothing, you know, like those people that they take a weekend seminar for Kali, a weekend seminar for Krav Maga, these people don't work. Because they don't know. But I would be afraid from a guy that trained Kyokushin for 30 years, because when he punch, you have the timing, and the timing is the most important. Because if you cut and I'm not there, it's not danger. So that's why my concept is completely different.
That's really interesting that you are telling. And Mr. Nardia, can you tell about your story? Which martial arts did you practice? How you became to this idea to put these all concepts all together to make like a new system?
The story is not going good, I will tell you. A month ago I had a birthday and I became 55. I'm going to my 56. It feels like, you know, like when you get a car and you have a full tank of gas, and then, you know, you got to your half, and then you get to your quarter. So the more you age and the more you get experience, it's not make you sometimes happy, because I miss my days as young martial artist. But in my age, I would say start martial art very young age, and moving from wrestling to judo to jiu-jitsu, even Brazilian jiu-jitsu, karate, different style of karate, Thai box, MMA, kendo, iaido, jodo, even kyudo, archery, and all my life is martial art. And all my life is exploring different martial art, but not from the find which martial art is the best, because there's no best martial art, there's a best warrior. Some people can study the same martial art like you and they will no value, and another guy study only for 2 years and is much better than people that study for 50 years. So I always try to see what I can gain from each martial art, for good and bad. And my martial art work from childhood to judo, jiu-jitsu, Japanese jiu-jitsu, and then, you know, apply for even Brazilian jiu-jitsu, coming and challenge myself in the old age, and go to do, again, put a white belt and go to study martial art, different one. I explore different fencing system, different knife system, from Kali, Eskrima, Lameco, CSSD, different Filipino martial art, different Korean martial art, just to try to see what benefit I can get from the martial art, not which one is better. And by this, actually, we build our concept, by study from others and see. Every martial art brings different concept. And for example, when people say to me, what's the danger about a knife? And if we take like the combat knife, we don't have so many angles like Filipino martial art. We have 1, 2, because if I want to cut somebody's face, it's very hard to do it parallel. So it most will be 1 and 2 diagonal, 3 and 4 are parallel, and 5 will be the stab. And for stabbing a person, it's better to take a screwdriver. Every screwdriver will do a better stab than any knife. It's getting really penetrate through the rib, through anything. The benefit of the knife is actually the other angles of cutting and slashing, and that's the danger. And most of, for example, when you go to Israeli martial art, we talk about stab. We talk about this stab I speak or from under stabbing. Because those are the normal Middle Eastern stabbing. But when it comes to Filipino martial art, all the defense, because to defend somebody that come all power and he don't switch angles, you can do those defense because you need a lot of force. But the guy from Filipino martial art, he will fake up and he will go down, for example. So when we start to change the Israeli martial art, we start to explore different knife systems, even Lameko, different masters, and we look for different answers from different concepts. Many times the stab will not be a slash, a fast one. It could be a powerful one, and that will be a different approach. So I don't have one answer, and I don't have the final answer, but I can say that many explorers teach me. I always say to my students, knife is always more dangerous than a gun. First, it's more available. You can find it in every kitchen, every store, even broken bottle can serve like a beautiful knife. But gun, you need license or you need to buy it in the underground, but it's still very difficult to find gun. Guns run out of ammo. If I give you a gun and you have 5 bullets, you can kill maximum 5 people. And the gun also do only angle 1, only stab. From more distance, from more extension. With a knife, maybe only extension of my hand, but with a gun, the extension is much more far. But the slash is what's scaring me. And, because you can stab a person 20 times and missing the arteries. In the body, there's so many spots that you can miss. I have a friend that he shoot the guy in the leg 8 times, and the guy keep running. And the only number 8 shot broken the bone, and the guy broke the bone and he fall. So sometimes the adrenaline can run a person even that you hurt him, but stabbing the guy many times, if it's not inside the artery, and you can see even people coming to hospital with the knives and a knife in the eye, and they will survive. The slash is very dangerous for me. And the slash also, if you get a slash, that's it. You will not be able to use your arm to grab because you cut tendons, the injury is more danger. And that's the knife. The knife, the most danger is the slice, more than the stab.
Mr. Nardia, you said that you think that it's possible to stay alive against the knife, but can you tell more? For example, in your system, that's KAPAP system, right? So what do you do in your system to be capable to stay against the knife empty-handed?
The first thing I do, I teach my students to run away. I tell them that the best advice is to have a very good shoes whenever you think. Whenever I go to the beach, I go with the flip-flop shorts. But whenever I go, for example, to a danger country, and I love Mexico, for example, but you will not catch me with the flip-flop shoes in Mexico. I have always very good running shoes. In any situation, I run. So the first thing is that skill to do not develop imagination that they are Superman and they can disarming a knife. It's great for training, but it's very dangerous tool. I would not advise my students fight a knife as long as they can. But if they must, they need to do everything by the damage control attitude. It means many times, for example, when I travel to different countries, I travel with a special shirt that it's made from Cavalier, and you cannot cut me so easy. Sometimes I have sleeves that I put so I can block without getting cut. Of course, if you do it for 2 hours, you will cut, but at least the first and 2 slash, I will survive them. That will give me the time to catch your hand, to do the trap, and to keep from there with my knowledge, is no matter which one. We teach by the concept, it's called spec. Spec means secure. Every time when you have a knife and it's moving, it's not secure. So at that moment of secure, you act like a cat fighting with a snake. You just try to make it move. This is many times, all those tap on the person just to avoid it. Same like in boxing, I'm trying to avoid. The next will be to secure. Once you manage, for example, you move the knife and you give the guy eye jab. That moment is a little bit slow for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That's my moment to do the trap. And that trap, it means to secure. The distance that you hold the hand is not free anymore. I must hold it, and it's no matter how right now. There's better way, but don't look now for the better way. Even if you get a little bit cut, it's better than the knife will keep moving. Because every time it moves, it can be a cut. So first will be to secure the knife. That's the S. Once you secure the knife, you will go to the position. When I secure your hand, you still can headbutt me, punching me, kicking me. So I must control the position. It means I must do a move that, for example, you move with the arm bar, and now you know you cannot punch properly, you cannot kick properly. And then it will come to effect of release. Release the knife. So it's no matter if I will do it with this arm lock, with a punch, with a headbutt, with a knee. So once I get the weapon in my hand, I want to create distance. I don't want to stay close to you. I want to retain the knife. And that's why our concept works by spec. Secure the weapon, position, control the position, effect of release, which can be millions, any technique that you know. You can throw him even judo, and that will maybe smack him on the floor. Because a lot of time, people ask what is the hardest punch you can give to a person. I will give you a iponso enage when I smack your head on the floor. Believe me, on a concrete, that's the hardest punch you will get. So this is, again, when I do it, I have to create a distance, maintain the knife, and I don't want to kill you. Like many systems, you will see also in a knife fight, you have a knife, I have a knife, they try to block and cut the leg. But you still, even you're dead, you might do a slash and cut me. And then we are equal. You have a cut, I have a cut. So our concept, even if I block you, I want to cut your hand. Because once you drop the weapon, you are not a threat. And we don't teach to kill. We teach you to neutralize the person to make sure that he's not a threat. If I cut your arm and cut your tendon, your Achilles tendon, you cannot move. And that gives me, for example, a big benefit to escape.
Can you tell me, please, what kind of improvised weapon can seriously hinder the task of an aggressor? Like what you can use to help you to protect yourself?
First is your clothes, because that's the first thing that you have normally. If you don't carry another knife, of course, if I carry a gun, it's the best. I can use shoe, I can use my clothes. Many times, people that come from Filipino martial art or mostly like Silat, we do like with a close technique. And many times, for example, you can take your clothes using the hands and, wrap it, and then you can trap the weapon and do those things that different martial arts. So, for example, Silat is great with these kind of things that you use, your own clothes against it. I can even use my cellular and throw it to the person's face, for example, to earn some distraction and to escape. But anything that I can distract you, I can use the coat, like in the old days, wrap it around my hand and create like a shield. So when you cut here and you don't cut my arm. I can use also the coat, like in ancient swordsmanship, when we use the coat to slap the face, to wrap it around even a sword. So all of these are improvised weapon, and this is a beautiful class to teach people also improvised weapon, like different things that you can do.
Can you tell me, please, how do you think, what school of bladed weapon is the most dangerous one?
Jail. I think that people that been in jail, they are the most dangerous.
Why?
Because they have the nuts to stab you. Most of Filipino martial arts don't have the guts to stab a person with no respect. I have a lot of friends, but if you tell them, okay, take this rabbit and kill it, they don't. And I don't encourage to do it, definitely, but I say that most of us, we don't have this kind of spirit to do it. We can play the game, but the people in prison, they done it. So for them to do it, it's very easy. So a guy that's been in prison, more scary me than a guy that studied Filipino martial art for 30 years. Because I know that this guy is going to pull the knife and stab me. You don't play games. You don't have a T-shirt, touch me and your first class is free. You know, you don't have those announcements. It will just surprise you. And the jail is a great place to study martial art. When I was instructor in the police academy in Israel, I ran 100 hours of videos from, filming inside police jail, arresting, and see how people concealed weapons. And even one day in my class, like I had different classes, and I used to say to people, I teach them search, like how to search a new prisoner in prison, and they all work in prison system. And I always put blade in my shoe, and they never find the blade in the shoe. They don't understand how you really conceal the weapon on you. That, some people can conceal the weapons. If you have those things, the hood, you can put knife in the hood. So many times I say, search this guy, and then I put from the guy 5 knives, and they're surprised because they don't check the hood, they don't check different spots. So a lot of training, I think, is not only to go to the class, is also to do a research and to see what happened in reality. Every terror attack that's been in Israel, I want to see and to study why, how, and how the guy protect himself, what helped him to protect himself and stay alive, and what happened when the other guy is dead, why, what happened. So many times is to study a real case scenario and to explore those real case scenario, and I don't say that you can do everything by the way that you teach and study in class, and if you've been in the class, you're the best student, and then you come to the reality, and I saw it too, the guy is a Navy SEAL or the best unit in Israel, there is a terror attack, and the guy just shoot him in the back. So there's some situations that you cannot do nothing, and you could be the most skillful person in the world. That's why I don't have imagination, I have reality, and part of the reality is not to play movie stars. In September 11, if you check, the first victim of September 11, his name was Darren Lewin. And this guy was Israeli Special Force. He come actually like our equivalent to the US Delta Force or Russian Spetsnaz or whatever. The guy, he was a businessman, and when the kidnap on the airplane start, he jumped on one of the terrorists and started to fight with him. But what happened is the rule +1, which is also a part of our concept. If there's one terrorist, it might be another. And he just did one mistake, and that's all you need in a real fight. And the sleeper terrorist that sit behind him just slash his neck. And if you look at the knife, they are not Karambi knife, they are not all of those piercing knife. It's just very sharp knife, and it's done the work to do one of the biggest terrorist attack with a stupid knife, not with all of those fancy knives.
By the way, we have the same research in the criminal traditions all over the world, and I can say that it's very interesting and important to know criminal tradition.
Another thing in our concept, we always joke, we say Titanic was made by expert and it sank, and Noah Ark built by amateurs. So we always students, we sometimes teacher. We don't fall into this, but it's nice. People call me expert and sensei and all of those names, but they're always surprised why I stay humble. But I'm laughing. I said, because I'm human, and I'm aware for being a human. I was in Holland, and I was defeated by a duck. I saw duck babies, and I come close, and the duck start to run to me. And of course, I don't want to kill the duck, but the ducks also can be very strong in that season, So I'm a human, and the humans, that's what people forget when they get into the game and the movie, and we are not. I'm aware that I can do anything in the training and fail in reality, and I can success in 100 realities, like a lot of my friends. One of my best friends, he just died 2 years ago in a terror attack. He was the oldest unit, top counter-terrorist unit in Israel. And the guy, they came to a terrorist situation, and they killed all the terrorists, and they packed all the gear, And when they packed the gear, he get one shot into his neck and he died on the spot. And he was the oldest, most experienced medals at the age of 49. So I come from, I would say, from a mindset that we're good in what we do, but we're aware also that reality is different.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Can you share, please, did you have in your life such a situation when martial arts saved your life? Maybe did you have some certain situation with a knife?
I don't like to talk about those things. Like many people try to tell, stories. I don't like to tell those stories personally. I can say that I will go to simple things. I will not go far to the knife, because I explain it also to my students. Before I disarming a knife, I disarming a fork. Because people eat like pigs, they are not healthy, they smoke. So before we disarming knife and, terrorism, in Israel more people died every day in a car accident. So maybe we should teach people to drive more safe and more conscious. But terrorism is also attracted. One guy died from terror attack, all the town talk about this. And the same day, 20 people die in a car accident because stupidity and nobody approach. It's more romantic, like to talk about. It's the same with a knife. Oh yes, I'm disarming a knife. We try to help people to live a better life. I don't even care about somebody attacking with a knife, I tell you in a seminar, forget the reality, because I could go. Yes, I work as security, and I give you a story if you want, how small we are. I was in British Guyana, and one day I find myself surrounded with like 20 to 30 people with AK-47. So I was smiling to myself, okay, now whatever improvise you want. What I studied is to smile and to have a very nice talk and to respect people and to know this is their jungle, so don't mess with them, In the jungle, be nice to the lion, so he will not eat you, he will go to the antelope. So I'm not here to tell stories like many teachers will tell you, 5 people jump about me, 10 people this, 10 people that. But I can tell you that I work in shitty clubs, that my life was threat every day. I will not even remember how many times fighting and including knives. But this is not the issue. The issue today, when I try to pass to my students, is not how much I'm a hero or somebody of my friends. It's how much life is so fragile. And my concern is not to fight a knife at all. And last weekend I come back from a good friend of mine, one of my students for 15 years, and his sister been murdered, her 2 kids been murdered. He had to leave everything that he did, get back to his country where he came from with all his family. And then, I'm going there to teach a seminar, helping him back on his life, and he now fighting cancer. And the day of the seminar, he came to me crying. He says that now they have cancer. And this is the reality of life. It's not a psycho with a knife will scare me. Every day we get up. We have to get up and find a job. And then they get you fired from your job. And then you see the guy can fight 20 knives. And then he's suicide. How many like that I know? I'm 56 years old soon. So how many I know? I know a lot. Strongest people in Israel, and then they find cancer. And the guy know the solution, so he shoot his own head because he don't want even to start to fight with it. So I don't say what I will do and but the life and the fighting in the life, everyday life, when I have a guy in a wheelchair, it's more important for me to work with him than some psycho with a knife. I really don't afraid of those guys. I got many times people tell me, if I step to a seminar with whatever, if you want, just try. But I'm not responsible for what happened. And I'm very famous for, in one seminar, I took a guy eye out because he challenged me, he wanted to fight. He had no problem. I stabbed my brother 3 times. So when we go psycho, I'm good. I'm not worried for this. But in my age, I pick up wisdom. When I was young, I fight a lot. I don't talk from non-experience. In my school, I have a judo trainer. He's been 7 years in prison. And then he changed his life. And it's very funny. Every time I get a tough guy to my school, he tried to impress me. Oh, I have this and you have a knife. And I said, oh God, just my judo teacher will not show him because, you know, I feel really for the guy. The tough people, they're tough. They don't need to show it, really. And I try today because I can tell you that I come from different background. When I was 14, I was already in the army as a cadet. And most of my friends were half criminal. So, you know, we more than we study about the army, we started to steal in car, to do bad things. But I joined the army and I became a military officer. When some of my friends already been murdered in the other world, because there's no games in this kind of games. And that's what I try to tell to my students. Tough is a temporary thing, by the way. You can be tough today and tomorrow there's more tough than you. It's the art of game. It's called the chicken. You know, every time you see, it's like Al-Qaeda were very tough and then ISIS come and they show that they are more psycho. So now Al-Qaeda look like Disneyland near to ISIS. And if you want to fight them, you have to be more psycho than they are. So you have to decide what game you want to play. And I played many games and then I decide to myself, I'm like a priest. I change people and I teach them about the quality of life and how much life is fragile. And my concern is not people that come to me with a knife. I just feel sorry for them. And if you know they kill me, I'm old man anyway. Until now, nobody's success. So what should I be worried? I'm not get up in the morning, what you do if somebody attack you with a knife. And if he comes with 2 knives. And, you know, I had a guy, he come from Sayakali and have 3 knives and I gave him his knockout. So, and again, it could be a guy that come and he will cut me and slash me 5 times. But I come also with some background. And whenever we do as a game, you know, we take knife, and we put lipstick, and put white shirt. And I'm very speedy, you know why? Because I'm a coward. So when I see the knife, I'm not there. That's the most thing. So if you're a coward, that's a quality to fight. Because you're already going to win. And every fight that you're not going to fight, you already won. And the ego, I can fight knife, I can do this. If I teach it to my students, they think they can fight and they will get killed. So we teach different. We teach not to do that. We teach to help the society. I encourage my students to work with handicap more than with special forces. Special forces don't need to study nothing. Did you ever see a special forces? They're all gorillas. They just run. It's like a train crashing you. They don't need a lot of techniques. Who needs technique? Who needs confidence? Normal people, women, self-defense, kids, anti-bullying. That's what I do today. I'm not trying to teach people like many systems who is more tough. And if you open YouTube, every teacher tries to show, you know, one guy do this and the other guy do gun disarming with a real gun with a bullet in the chamber. What it showed me? What it showed me? Other than ego. Nothing. So when you're young, maybe it's okay. But in my age, I already studied what is life. I lost a lot of friends. Actually, I lost all my friends. That's why I'm a happy man. I studied one thing, that I can live by myself. And that it's another sad part in life. But before, it was very difficult to lose all my friends. So life teach you. And you know, the more you fight against the life, you will get more beat up. So the knife is not the danger tool at all. The everyday fight with the life, with the normal life, to get up, to go to the work. I look at my father. In age, before he died, he still go to the work early morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, cold day, hot day, be outdoor all day. This is tough. Not a guy with a knife.
Thank you for your answer. But anyway, I want to ask you a little bit about knife attacks. What do you think? For example, if one person, he is not trained and he faced the real situation with a knife attack and he is in the closed room, what tactics he can use to be alive, to survive in this situation?
To be honest, from exploring real situation, I think that sometimes people that never study nothing have better chance to survive. because they let their own reflex to lead them. They don't come with the idea of what to do. They just let the natural to do it. They don't try to block like this or like this or like that, because they never study anything. And they let, you know, when you look for a lion, martial art, in the jungle, every animal is a martial artist. You know, the lion want to kill the hyena. The hyena fight with, and there's no everyday class. When you are a baby, you play war game with other puppies, and then you go to the jungle. And if you cannot kill the other animal, you will not survive. And I saw many times with a real situation that martial artists, they did a lot of mistakes that we all fall into it, and it's called the ego. The guy's a world championship in Thai boxing, and somebody scratch his car, and he go outside the gym because he's with the glove, and he go macho man, hey, what's this? Then the guy shoot him and escape, or crash him with his car and escape. Many times, because we are good about what we do, we became arrogant. And that's the most scary part, that, you know, people that do martial art, many times they go and they taking chance that a normal person will just escape, or our natural to escape, to avoid. And many times, I had a friend, he was a Krav Maga instructor, and he get up in hospital 6 months after he became a coma, because he worked in a nightclub, and two guys told him, you know, if you have the guts, let's go out. And the guy did the same mistake, he go out after them. And that's the last part you remember. They broke his jaw, he had so many ribs broken, concussions, he was a coma 6 months. And when he became my students after, he said, I wish I meet you, because he comes from a lot of ego, like we are some kind of a James Bond. We can do anything, you know, we are the Israeli this, with Israeli that. Reality is different. My best weapon is smile. I've been in British Guiana, I see 6 guys want to rob me, you know, I could tell, they want to mug me. I mean, they became my best friends in 2 seconds. That's the biggest fight, is how to do not fight. And I studied it only when I was older. When I was young, I told you I stayed my brother 3 times. Imagine me like a young, stupid guy, military dormitory, cadet, doing so many nonsense. But thanks God I got experience. It means I survived when others didn't. But when I look back, I think it was all my mistakes. And many times when people want to fight with me, I try to find different solutions today. And this is what I tell people. Imagine you have a mosquito here. You kill it, isn't it? But imagine the mosquito is between your testicles. You're not going to hit them. So that's the same thing. Find a different solution. Think outside the box. This is why when I see a guy with a knife, I will immediately try. Again, I'm not talking about a guy that he ran to me. I'm talking about a different situation. One situation, I start argument with a guy, I pull a knife. And that's again why many times I was in a place with my son, and some guys, they start to get drunk. And I just paid the bill and I left. And other guy says, hey, why you don't want to stay? Because I don't want to fight. I can smell problems before they happen. Why should I stay there? Somebody is drunk. He's clumsy, maybe he smacked on my kid, I get up, I tell him something, and then we'll start like into a fight. So many times, the prevent is not by only run away, the prevent is to read the map before it happens. And I disarming a lot of people from life, believe me. I work in a door, in a worse places, I work with, I was bodyguard to very, very high level people, $8 million, big people, and I study a lot of things that security, a good security personnel is not a guy that involved every week in a fight. It's the guy that he prevent the fight without happening. And this is the skill I'm trying to pass to my students, including the skill. The skill is no matter, because I can disarm you with a kick. If my kick is strong enough to knock you down, you will be disarming. And I give you an example. My friend in Thailand, were friends for 35 years, but this guy got nuts after the war. He left Israel in '82. We meet in Japan. We both students from martial art for years. He was so nutcase that he gave to the karate teacher a knockout. Yeah, I mean, the guy was very wild, but he stayed to live in Thailand. And one day, it was like maybe 2 years ago, a guy stepped in his house with a machete and just ran to him, attacking. And then, the guy took picture of the body, and I asked him, "What have you done?" He said, "Honestly, I don't remember much. I get up from sleep, the guy ran to me with a machete, and I just give him a front kick, a Maigeli. But it was such a good kick that the guy just broke a piece. And then once the guy knocked on the floor, the guy just went on him and beat him up so bad. So it's also a matter of experience. I'm a great believer of a full contact martial art. I don't believe in hocus pocus martial art. I see all the time, I touch you here, you move like this, I touch you there. Sometimes I touch people, I don't touch, I punch, they don't move. You have to be ready for that. The action reaction is not like you think. Many times you punch me in my face and I'm bleeding. If I taste blood, I will never stop the fight. I just want to kill. I locked. I changed my mentality. From a nice person, I became really animal. And this is why I don't like to, if I feel blood, you will see me in the training, my student power, I have to relax, because I know if I feel the taste of the blood, it triggers me. And this is since I'm a child. I know blood means go all the way, because if you give up, you get beat up. So this is why I'm a great believer of a full contact. I'm a great believer of a full contact. If you cannot take a punch, how are you going to take a step? Carlos Newton is a good friend of mine, the Ronin. He's a UFC fighter. And I remember him when he was 17, he was my student. And he came to Israel, we go together. And it was a little bit after he got stabbed in a nightclub. And we're talking about the stab. He even didn't feel the stab, because it feels like a punch, the stab. The pain comes if you take the knife out, not when it comes in. It's so fast that you feel like somebody punched you. And only then he saw that he's bleeding. But again, the guy is a tough guy. He comes from full contact. So, a lot of time you see people, you slap them in the face and they're all confused. And some other people, you slap them in the face or before fight, they do this, because that's how we wake up. And this is why I like wrestling, I like BJJ, I like Thai boxing, I like karate full contact. I like anything that teach you one thing, and this is the respect in martial art. Because one time I beat you up, and the next day somebody else beat me up. In a full contact, you cannot be the top dog. We hit each other. It's an exchange. That teach you to respect other people, because many times all of those martial arts, I call them the theoretical, or I cut you like this, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe you don't walk up with a knife. I don't take shower with a knife on me. And if somebody attack me in the shower, whenever, first, I don't have nothing. Then I can take my computer and use it as a knife. I can use a chair as a knife, a book as a knife, anything. I can fold a magazine and use it as an improvised weapon. So the knife, again, for me, if you want to be a good knife man, come from a full contact. And I try to explain it in Israel to some Arnis class. And the guy, every time I told him something, he said, "Yeah, but if you do this, I do this." And I tell him, what, let's play like a free fight. You do what you want, stab me any way that you want, but I do fear. And then, I give him like a slap, I go like this, because I'm trying to protect as much as organs that I can. Mostly I go actually like a professional boxer, because that's my belief. And it's also a knife here and a knife here, if I was with a knife fighting. And I'm fighting like this, keep the lever, keep here, and I give him an eye slap, he's like that, and I give him, so he got 4 fingers in this side and 5 in the other side, and he was on the floor. And then I took the knife and I say, okay, now can we keep the class? So I am a great believer of full contact. And I think I can move the knife and give you a knee, I can headbutt you, but everything is theoretically if you don't do full contact. Because because full contact teach you also to take the pen, that the guy punch you back, the guy headbutt you back, the guy elbow your face, and it teach you also not to stop. You know, like sometimes I get elbows to my face, I'm all bleeding, but it's not affecting me. It's not a knockout. It's only a nose. If it's a jaw, maybe I'm on the floor, but if it's the nose, it's scary, but it's not stop. A lot of people, they get hit in the nose and they want to stop the fight. Imagine the guy slash you and half of your body is cut. So this is why you want to be a good knife fighter, go to full contact. Of course, you need also the move, the skills. But many times I have friends, they come from different Kali system, and they say, what you do against a knife? You're so fat, how are you going to run after me? You're not in a shape, how are you going to run after me, to stab me? I'm moving 2 times, the guy already cannot move. Full contact, good stamina, but all of this with the age will not stay with you. That's why wisdom. That's why brain is your worst weapon, not improvised weapon. That's where you are. And if you come with a knife, I might try to change your channel. You want to kill me, why? I want your money. I give you my money. You know, my best friends, they're so tough. They are in the Philippines. A guy come with a knife and 2 kids with a knife and 1 guy with a gun. I asked my friend what you did. I gave them the money. And my friend is not somebody you want really to fight. But every smart person will give you the money. I go to Mexico, to Philippines, to any British Guiana, any country that I might, even in anywhere, now I'm in a safe country, but in any country that you can be robbery, I have a wallet specially for the thief. I'm not going to fight with him, even if I can kill him. Let's say that the guy is a kid, and maybe I can disarm him and kill him. I don't want. I don't want. Don't ask me why, but I don't want. You know what? This guy, he might be me at the age of 14. Why should I do it? Let him success, even if I can kill him. One day in my neighborhood, the thief stole my friend's car, but we catch them. What we did, we just beat them up, and we let them go. No police. That's a man attitude, you know? They go. They never come back. Years. All the rumors go when it's need to go. Don't steal in this area the car. That's all I need. I'm not defender of the world. You cannot defend the world. And this is what I say also to my students. Don't be a hero. You know, hero is not something that I graduate to do anymore. When you are young, you think, I want to be a hero. Me, I'm not a hero. I'm a coward. I see a knife, I escape.
Thank you very much for your answer. And the last question is, how do you think, who is the most skilled master in the world, in your opinion, who is capable to protect himself against the knife like 100%?
Only Chuck Norris in the movie.
Chuck Norris, okay.
I tell you the truth, if I don't believe in this, that somebody like this or that is more capable than another, because everyone has the same percentage to survive in knife fighting. Everybody, but of course the guy that is more skilled has more. This is why you need body condition and skills, and a lot of luck.